This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, you clicked on this because you want to get better. You want to get better not just technically, but in a way that gets you noticed, gets you booked, and gets you respected. You want to know why your work isn't standing out yet, even though you're putting in the same time and you're making real pictures. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why and what to do about it. You see, most photographers think that the secret to becoming unstoppable is making better pictures. But better isn't enough. The truth is, you could be making your best work ever and still not getting hired because you're making the wrong pictures. Not wrong technically, but wrong for the market. The photographers who take off, they're not less talented. They're intentional. They're making the right pictures for the right clients, images that solve a need, that fit a style, and speak the industry's language. Today, inside of Portfolio Lab, I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like to go through some real photograph reviews. If your work isn't getting traction yet, this is likely the reason. And by the end of today's photo review session, you're going to know exactly how to fix yours. Understand this, I've been working professionally in the industry for 35 years. I've shot celebrities, I've shot global brands, I shoot magazine covers, advertising, and still, I review work every single week. Why? Because that's how you grow. By seeing how your work holds up, where it stands out, and where it falls short. I still show my work to my coaches and my consultants. I have 4, by the way. Inside Portfolio Lab, we do this twice a week, right here on YouTube, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and once a week on Zoom. On Thursdays, I go even deeper doing an amazing Zoom workshop where me and my team break down one aspect of your packaging triangle. Your work, your presenting, your website, your portfolio, and your positioning. Today, you're about to watch me review a fresh batch of submissions. I'm doing this live. This is me in real time. So you can learn in real time. And whether you've submitted your work for review today or not, I promise you, if you pay attention, if you take notes, and if you apply what you learn, this will be one of the most valuable photography lessons you're going to get for free. So it is week 27. And week 27, today's Tuesday. And Tuesday, I look at pictures that you're considering for your portfolio. We have 17 submissions, but this is also week 27, and Thursday, I've given you an assignment. I want to see you. Essentially, week 27 is self-portrait week. I want you to create a compelling self-portrait that showcases your personality, your style, your creative vision while demonstrating your technical skills behind the camera. This isn't just a headshot. This is a statement piece that tells your story as a photographer and as a creative professional. Now, if you shoot people, this should be easy for you. Step in front of your own lens and practice what you preach. Focus on authentic expression, compelling body language, and styling that reflects your personal updated brand. And if you shoot places, incorporate yourself into an environment that represents your creative identity. Showcase yourself in your element. Let the location enhance your narrative as a photographer. And if you shoot things or products, create a self-product that includes your essential tools and your creative objects. Make it feel authentic to your brand and your working style. Now, I'm asking you for a vertical picture. Let me tell you why this matters. Self-portraits are essential for building your personal brand and connecting with clients on a human level. They show you both sides of the camera. They demonstrate your technical abilities. They give you authentic content for your website, your social media, your marketing material. In an industry built on trust and personal connection, showing your face helps potential clients feel more comfortable working with you. So If you guys want to join Portfolio Lab, it's super simple. Just go to thecartymethod.com/portfolio lab and sign yourself up. We have 17 photographers to look at today, starting with Natalie Bennett. Natalie says, I was able to do a couple of photo sessions this week. This is shot with the R6, with a R6 Mark II with an RF 135. I love the 135. ISO 100, f3.2 at 1/250th of a second. This is Natalie Bennett. Natalie, let's get it on. Natalie, this is a good swing for you. This is a good swing for you. For me, I feel like this is processed well. There's good blacks. Let me look at your skin. The skin, I mean, your processing and the blur that you were doing last week is better, but there is definitely, you're still doing something with your bad quality slider. I'm noticing like this is better, but in and around here and in and around here and in here, like there's still I'm going to be doing this week, Thursday, a processing workshop, because I'm feeling like many of the people who watch do not know how to process their images. Many of the people who are submitting are not processing if you were using any kind of skin sliders, you're ruining your image. You're absolutely killing your image. So Natalie, this is closer and way closer than you were last week, but I still feel like you're not just leaving that skin slider at 0. Last week we did a skin retouching workshop, which I know that you were in. I feel like what you're doing in post-production is very much killing your photo. This is closer. This is closer than last week, so I am giving you the applause. I still want you to be working on body language, location. For me, just lowering yourself just a little bit and taking this path out, just pushing yourself down, moving yourself over just a bit and taking out this railing. And then let's ask, why are you up on this level? Like, why not walk into this patch of shade that's right down here? And then that and you can shoot from up here, just move her down there. And then that eliminates the railing altogether. So it does make the path a little bit more predominant, but you can select your perspective. Also want you to watch, you're shooting overcast, which is basically on like a kind of a cloudy day. I can tell by how soft the shadows are, but because it's high noon, the sun is quite high. And if you look at her eyes, you have like top down, like raccoon eyes. You can see how the top of her forehead is like really lit, but then we're like the brim of her brow is causing shading in her face in here. It looks like you might have a bit of a reflector in there, but even still, it's like she still needs to be in shade. You have her in open shade, but it's high noon or 1 or 2, so the sun's too high. So these are small tweaks that you have to be aware of. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm just saying there's lots of different things that you have to watch when we're trying to do professional photography. This is a good swing, though, Natalie. Thanks for submitting. That is Natalie Bennett. All right, we're into Malik Brand is next. Malik says, took another swing at the slow shutter speeds. Only going in my book if it's Carty approved. Sony A7 III, 35mm 1.8, ISO 125, 7.1 at a third of a second. This is a slow shutter speed. The slow shutter speed assignment was 1 second or longer. So a third of a second is not long enough for that assignment. This is shot with the Godox AD200 Pro. This is Malik Brand. Malik, thanks for submitting. So we're onto something, but it's the exposure in here is over. This is over by, I'm going to call this half a stop. The glove exposure is okay, but we're seeing that we got this mixed color balance because the actual ambient light is quite yellow, and then your flash is balanced for neutral. So that together gives us this off color balance, which is kind of throwing me. Like you see the yellow and the white down here, the yellow in the gloves here. That means the ambient light is tungsten, but then your flash is daylight. So again, I'm wondering why. Like, who is this for? Are you shooting boxers? And if you're shooting boxers, shooting them in an editorial way rather than, I don't know. For me, Malik, I'm trying to sharpen you to a spear, and I know you're a people photographer. I'm trying to unify your style, meaning the way that you shoot, but you're trying different things every time, so it makes it really difficult for me to help you unify your style because you jump around so much. I also don't have a website to look at, or maybe I have a website to look at. Let's see if I can find a website for Malik Brand, because, and I got to do this quickly. Where is Safari? Here we go. So Malik, here we go. So looking at the rest of your work, Malik, and again, I've suggested 4x, not 6. The pictures are too small. If you're looking at this picture, oops, Malik. If you're looking at this picture, and then looking at this picture, like what to you seems like it's a better photograph, this or this? Because you're saying that they're both good enough to be in the same portfolio. Editorially, what's a better picture, this or this? And you can see this is all making pictures, coming up with ideas. What's a better picture, this or this? So you have to understand also, this technique is something that it's not something that you've shown anywhere in your portfolio. What's a better picture, this or this? So you need to figure out a way when you're shooting to unify your style, not be just throwing randoms out, because we're trying to make a body of work that fits. So the way that you do a slow shutter has to fit with the rest of your work. So I'm going to show you an example. Let me show you Nick Johnson. And Nick has been working in a little bit of slow shutter, as you can see here. But if you see the background, you see this little bit of slow shutter. But if you see some without the slow shutter, it's still the same sensibility. It's still the same photographer. So that's what I'm trying to teach you is, for me, this is too much of a departure and it doesn't hit as hard as the rest of your book. And for me, the location, like, it just doesn't work. So I need you to kind of see that before you go down and say, okay, this is my idea. I need you to work more ideas, use my peer reviews. This one's a bit of a miss for me, Malik. Thanks for submitting, my guy. That's Malik Brand. This is Romeo Fowler. So Romeo shooting on an XT3 50mm 1.4 5.6 at 250 of a second at ISO 200. This is Romeo Fowler. Romeo, thanks for submitting. So off the top, the pose is a no. The exposure is under by 2/3 of a stop. And his lack of confidence in unsureness makes it not, like, it's, for me, the location in an elevator, the light is not, it's not exposed right. Like, this is literally 2/3 under. And the hand on his face, the I'm a cool guy, sweet boy kind of thing just makes me want to punch him. So the whole everything for me is wrong for this photo. He's trying too hard. And again, there's no purpose for this. There's no commercial client. It's not for his watch. It's not for the brand. It's just for his vanity. So for me, if that's the case, you have to shoot it way better and empower him and not let him do the like, hey, for me, this is a bit of a miss, Romeo. You shoot better pictures. You shoot harder pictures. This one is not for me. This one's not it. Thanks for submitting, Romeo, but I don't think that this one fits in your portfolio. I don't think that it's good enough, and I think that it gives the wrong message. I hope that helps. All right, that is Romeo Fowler. This is Courtney Turner. Courtney said, had the pleasure of photographing friend's BMW X4. Z7, 35mm 1.8, ISO 500, F5. Did I say it was on a Z7? 35mm 1.8, ISO 500, F5 at 1/25th of a second. Shot in golden hour. This is Courtney Turner. Courtney. There's something about your framing here, Courtney. And because you're shooting with a wide, your lines aren't straight. Because you're shooting full frame. Z7 full frame? Is Z7 a full frame, guys? I think Z7's a full frame. But because you're shooting full frame with the 35, the lines are still like they're going out. So you see these lines here, right? But then assume that these lines are all parallel, right? They're all running parallel. But then you see how this line, so you, like, it's like they're converging, but I feel like if you were shooting with a 50, you'd be able to get these lines straight, because I'll say again, wide angle is not meant to be shot vertical. Wide angle is meant to be shot horizontal, unless you're shooting architecture and shooting buildings and blah, blah, blah. Yes, I see a point of that, but for cars, shooting cars wide angle really throws your perspective. I'm on the fence. I find this line a little distracting. I find this extra color box back here distracting. Like, I feel like put this car against put it anywhere else. And then the angle of the car, I would probably shoot it a little bit more on the 3/4. For me, I want you to shoot with your 50 more. I feel like you shoot with your 35 more, like a lot. And if you don't have a 50 has to be something that's in your kit. For me, this blocky architecture, and the door, there's too much that's competing with this. And I'm not trying to feel like I'm just grumpy today because I'm in a fine mood. Again, Tuesdays are hard because these are shots that you're thinking about your portfolio. Some are going to hit and some aren't. So it's a great car. It's a great wrap. I'm just not 100% married to where you dropped it and the framing. You can see how much top, how much bottom, and how much is actually car. It's for me. And then that top and it's not interesting enough to include in the photo with this car. I want to see this car in a beach or in a city, like with lots of things happening around, like at night, like something that's just a little bit more slick with this BMW. I hope that helps you. That is Courtney Turner. It's such a great car. I just want to see other frames. I just want to see other frames, Courtney. You're such a good shooter, dude. Like, I have all the faith in you. I just don't think that that's the picture. especially the other stuff that I've seen from you, my guy. So Courtney says he's too attached to his 35 millimeter and he needs to put it away for a while. Yes. You're a little attached to that because you've been shooting with it since you've been submitting. It's been 35. And it's like, in order to be a well-rounded photographer, you have to have images with a selection of focal lengths, right? A selection of focal lengths, a selection of perspectives. Because the thing is that you're doing close-ups with the 35. You're doing this with the, like, you're just one lens for all of these, like, the wrong applications. And that's when, like, your car starts to look super weird because you're going close-up with a wide angle. 50 millimeter, bro. And longer, 85, 135, 100 millimeter macro. Like, these other lenses have to be part of your family. And knowing when to use which. Courtney Turner, everybody. Courtney, thanks for submitting. All right. This is Lincia Taylor. Shot with a D610 50 millimeter. ISO, not iOS. ISO is 200. F-stop is 4.5 at an 80th of a second. On-camera flash. Lincia, I have to break these very bad habits. Stop using on-camera flash immediately. Stop. Just stop. Because it's hackish, and I already know what this picture looks like without even seeing it. Because I know what camera light looks like when it's attached to the camera. I know what it looks like. So stop doing that, Lincia, immediately. This is Lincia Taylor. Lincia. This, you don't need that on-camera flash touch in this way. You can off-camera flash touch it and add a little bit more. I mean, it just ends up just making the light look even. I mean, it's pretty, but Lincia, like, this is, like, grad photography. Is this what we're, again, great shot. It's very good. It's technically good, but it's on a shooting wall, which means you have people next to you with iPhones taking pictures, and, like, this isn't your like, you on location with this girl shooting a grad picture. Like, for me, it's like, if this is the type of work that you want to do, Lincia, okay, but I'm hoping for a higher frequency of wanting to shoot, like, anyways, I'm just, great picture, but it's like graduations and, like, this kind of stuff falls into almost wedding photography, which for me, it's like, like, it's not the kind of stuff that I do. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to help, but these kinds of shooting wall, proppy, balloon kind of things, I mean, okay, but Lincia, can I see something else from you next week, please? Thank you for submitting. That is Lincia Taylor. Lincia, thanks for submitting. All right. This is Alexander Klasna. So Sony A7 II with a 17 millimeter ISO 100 f8 at half a second with a tilt shift. Alexander Klasnia. Alexander, thanks for submitting. So are you an architectural photographer? Is that what we are trying to do? I need to have an understanding as to what your niche is in order for me to help you. Like, again, very cool, spooky. It's a little over-processed, over-darkened in post, like, too much so, because what's going on around here, and, like, it's very obviously darkened. You got to have a gentle touch when it comes to, like, your burning and dodging in Photoshop. For me, this is too close. Like, you're clipping here. How it looks as a double page spread is the only important thing. But guess what? You cropped this, Alexander, to an 8x10, which is a 10x8, which is not the format for 3x2. 3x2 is two pages in a magazine exactly. So you don't crop horizontals to 8x10 or 10x8. We don't do that. So this is something that you need to lock in. And then also, who are you shooting this for? Who? That's my ultimate question. Who is paying you to shoot this photo? And Alexander, if you don't have the answer to who's paying you to shoot this photo, then I ask, why are you making it? So I'm trying to, if you're trying to shoot architecture, then you got to shoot modern architecture, because the architect who made this is dead. So you can't get him to hire you to shoot more buildings. So are you, like, what type of a photographer are you? I know you're new, Alexander. When you're telling me all this stuff about, I went to this building and blah, 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 doesn't help. I want to know, what is your niche? I am trying to be an X type of photographer. This is my photograph. That helps me understand if you're making the right work for the market that you're trying to serve. Shooting pictures because you feel like it doesn't help you, and it doesn't help the industry, and it doesn't help you getting work. So this picture, although cool, I'm going to ask you, A, who's hiring you to make it? And B, like, what is it for? What value is it serving? And if you think about business, if this was like, what business is this serving? So these are the kinds of questions when you're asking yourself before you make a photo. It's like, who is this serving? And then, are you serving people? Or are you serving businesses? People have egos. So the only reason that they hire photographers is to feed their ego. They fancy themselves as cute. They want to put on a cute outfit and shoot with a photographer. Those people, you're limited to how much money they make and how big their ego is, which is meaning how much they're going to spend on pictures of themselves, which have no purpose. People who are individuals, but they have a business or they're trying to get something going, well, they need those photos to be out there in order to get work. And also the thing that they're trying to be known for, they have high quality images of them, so they look industry standard. So there's people, places, things. If you're shooting places like Alexander is here, I need to know if that, like, how you're forming the places that you're shooting into a niche that will equal money. Because just saying that, well, no, I'm an architecture photographer because I went to architecture school, all my friends are architects, and like, oh my God, that makes full sense. Like, you went to architecture school, but you didn't want to be an architect, you want to be a photographer, but all your friends are architects, so you're serving that network of architecture that you know. So you're shooting everything from like the architect's portraits, but you're also shooting them in meetings and them while they're designing, and then them while they're planning, and like you're shooting the whole process of the making of a building. Like, that's a niche, and I definitely see that. But I'm a little confused here, Alexander, as to the why. You have to ask yourself always, why? Why am I making this picture? Trying to ask why I'm making this picture. Can someone take care of BK Gang from my team? He's asking questions that I can't answer while I'm in the middle of this. All right. Hey, Malik, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. I wish I could give you smoke today, Malik, but we got the air conditioning on, and there is no smoke while there is air conditioning because it'll pop my breaker. Give you a little light, my guy. Malik, thank you for your don't know. All right. So this is my ProLab submitters. So Mike Graves says, 2 people with BMX walking away in sunlight. Sony A9 24-70 ISO 100, 200th of a second at 2.8. This is Mr. Mike Graves. Mike, this is a yes. This is a yes. This is 100% unequivocally a yes. I'm wondering if a vertical would be Like, because let's look at this as a double. You see where the gutter goes? The gutter is not gonna work. So this isn't gonna work with 2 pages. But Mike Graves, one of my favorite photos of you from you so far. But I want you to think about this the next time you shoot, okay? Why center focused horizontal? What is important over there and over here? And I want you to think of this. Look at what would have happened if you shot this as a vertical. If you shot this as a vertical, look what happens then. And then you just move this here. Yes? Are you losing any impact of that photograph as a vertical? Absolutely zero. And guess what else? Now I can put it on a cover. Now I can put it on a cover. So knowing when to shoot horizontal and when to shoot vertical is one of the most essential skills that you can have. Holding the camera horizontal is lazy. I'm going to say it. It's lazy because it's comfortable. Watch. Also, Mike, I'm guaranteeing that you do not have a grip on your camera. Because if you had a grip on your camera, it is as easy and as comfortable to hold your camera this way, because I have a shutter button, all my thumb buttons back here, my wheel. It's as comfortable to hold my camera vertical as it is to hold my camera horizontal. But for those people who don't have a grip, their camera looks like this. And this is too uncomfortable. Although it's how you're supposed to shoot. This is too uncomfortable. So rather than doing that or that, they shoot everything like this because it's comfortable. Instead of buying this for their camera, which every pro camera has a grip. If your camera does not have a grip available, it is not a pro camera. So vertical, totally stable. Horizontal, same exact feeling. So we have to know when to shoot vertical and when to shoot horizontal. And sadly, Mike, this is definitely an instance where you shoot vertical as well. And for me, I just shoot both, bro. I just shoot both. When I'm in these situations and I'm not sure whether this is a vertical or a horizontal, I shoot it both ways. So I have this frame, vertical and horizontal. Other than that, dude, this is 100% an 11. It's such a banger. Great light, great idea. I love the sensibility. I love the subject matter. I love the vibes. But what I would do is I would also, like, this is what we call an end page. Like, you're going to hear me. I'm going to give you an end screen, an end page, an assignment, which is the last page of the magazine. So imagine this is the last, and not the back cover, but the last page before the back cover is called the end page. These guys walking away is an end page, okay? But what you also need to do is turn them around and shoot the picture of them walking towards you. So you have the cover page. You also need to get in tight and shoot them interact. So in this photo, there's like so many editorial moments. You need to turn them around, have them walking towards you, get that picture, get an individual, get him individual. Like in this scene, in this exact spot, you can get 12 pictures. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing one. So that is what I want you to like wrap your head around. But yes, Mike, very impressed. That's an 11 for me. It's Mike Graves. All right. This is Samuel Salling. Samuel is an architecture and interior shooter, A7 IV, 16 to 35, 2.8, ISO 100, F11, 1 second plus 1 second. Lights on, lights off. This is Samuel Salling. Samuel, this is a yes. This is a yes, Samuel. This is a yes. I'm hiding my... Yeah, Samuel. Yes. You're getting very, very, very good at interiors. And this add to your work brings me great joy. It brings me great joy. This is really good. I need to see what your website looks like, because that's the next natural step, is seeing this all put together in one place. Your interiors and your exteriors are going to have to be two different categories, but this is a yes. This is a yes. I know why you cropped it in such a way, but you can see that this also works cropped in here. Like, very much still works cropped in if you take these extra, like, this part and this part away and this part away. But these are architectural details. These are architectural details that the designer needs to see, that there's a hidden fridge here and freezer down here, and the wood detail up here, which matches that wood. Like, they need to see that. This is an absolute yes for me, Samuel. You've been with me for like a year and a half, and I swear in the last like 6 months since you realigned your niche, since you've realigned your niche, like, yes. Samuel Salling. Yes, that's an 11, sir, if I didn't hit you one. Well done, Samuel. All right. So our next photographer is Kyle Kiono. So Kyle's shooting with the A7 IV 50mm ISO 640 f4 250 of a second, shot natural light. This is Kyle Kiono. Kyle, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. It's just a little bit of stuff that you're doing in processing, but overall, this hits so hard. I want you to watch a couple things, just again, and it's exposure. I want you to watch your exposure and your highlights, and I want you to see how hot this shirt is. Okay, so although like it's just like, and again, I think that's what you're doing in Lightroom with your sliders, but this is very, very, very close, Kyle. Very, very close. So let me show you this as a cover. Very, like, again, I also think, Kyle, your camera is set for 16:9. Okay? Your camera is set for 16:9 instead of 3:2. Okay? It needs to be set for 3:2. And the reason is because when I drop the masthead in, your picture should come to here. It should come to here. Okay? So check your camera where it comes to ratio. Make sure it's 3:2 and not 16:9. Okay? Because that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay? Other than that, because if I can show you this, you see how this is not aligned with your frame. It's because your frame is too narrow. So I can tell you this for sure, your frame is too narrow. Your camera's set to 16:9 like you're a video shooter. Even when I shoot video, I don't change my camera to 16:9. So, Kyle, this is a yes. It's very, very technically good. But again, I want you to watch what you're doing in your post, because when I really start getting in here, I'm seeing that you're being destructive in your processing. Do you see the whites of the eye? And do you see how digital this picture is starting to look? It's because of what you're doing. And I'm also seeing you did stuff inside her eye to make her eye whiter. Like you see that when you're, and again, Kyle, I talk about walking before you run. You're trying to do too much. You're doing too much adjustments in your sliders. Too much. And it's evidence here. And so I said, I could see it even smaller. There's too much sharpening. That's another thing that you're doing. So all of that to say, this is a very good capture, but watch what you're doing in processing. And also when you're shooting, watch what's happening behind. Watch what's happening behind. You see how that truss is kind of going right through her head? You see this bright spot up here? Is there a way for you to move her that way so we have that tree covering the whole background? Do you know what I mean? So her white shirt's not fighting with this white background up here. You're going to always look to the brightest thing in the scene, and that's going to be white. So that's what that is up there. So just about balance. And when you're looking at it now, yes, you're seeing this thing growing through her head here. So it's just, and then the tree, the way the tree's not quite balanced, you can see you just tuck her, move her more over there so the tree covers her whole thing. And then you're going to have the same light. I hope that helps you. That is Mr. Kyle Kiono. Very good swing, Kyle. Very good swing. We're doing a processing workshop. We're doing some exposure stuff. Like, make sure you keep coming to the workshops. Thursday's going to be a big one. Lamont DeSalle. This was shot during a lighting setup and equipment. This was shot with different lighting setup and equipment. During a remote production with a client. Okay. Remote production, like during COVID, like they're on that side and you're on this side and you're using that, like, I'm worried. Nikon D750, 50mm 1.8, ISO 100, f9 at 200th of a second. This is Lamont DeSalle. Lamont, thanks for submitting. So, remote, like the remote session, Lamont, is not something that I want you to spend any time in. Like, I'm so confused by what it is that I'm looking at. I'm so confused. As soon as you said the remote session, I know, like, so he's on that side and you're like, and then you're directing him and he's listening and like, it's not COVID. We have the ability to shoot in person. And if you're like, I don't know, I don't get it. For me, there's no light, there's no reflector, there's no anything kind of like hitting him back here to give any kind of polish. It looks a little lost. The sleeve, the way his shirt is styled, and like, I don't know, there's no eye contact. Like, he's looking like, where is he looking? I just, if this is headshots, we need connection with the photographer, but you weren't there, you were remote. So I don't think that this is something that, like, personally, I don't think this is something worth continuing as far as you doing remote sessions in 2025. If this guy can't fly to you, then he doesn't get to shoot with you. Like, and again, although this is like okay, it just, for me, like, screams, it's, I don't know. It's not it for me. It's not it. It doesn't match with the rest of your style personally. Yeah, Lamont, I don't know. I'm not getting it. And also on top of it, this isn't someone who I would put in your portfolio. So it's like a job. You did it for a client. You made money. Totally cool. But I don't need to review it, and I don't think that it should go on your website. This is Lamont DeSalle. I think that this is, well, I'm just reading his notes, Courtney. You said it's a remote session. This was shot with different lighting and different equipment during a large remote production with a client. Shot in the living room with 2 lights. So, remote, it says right here. Okay. Chris Foster. I'm missubmitting for the high concept, so I'm submitting here. I shot on the the Cloud Nova on Cloud Nova 2s in smoke. R5 100. Okay, you shot with a 1000mm? No, you did not. You shot with a 100mm. We've got some big spelling mistakes in our show notes today. So R5 RF 100mm macro, ISO 100. 1/8 of a second f11, shot with a single strobe. This is Chris Foster. Chris, this is your best so far. So far, your best. My favorite shot of yours so far. So far, it's the best. It's your best. Let's look at it as a cover. I feel like it's a bit literal with your angles and your reflections. If you kind of got up a little bit and aimed down, then this reflection kind of pinches in a little bit tighter. I know you want there to be a gap in here because you want this to appear like it's flying, like it's above the clouds. It would be nice to have had a little bit of cloud kind of in on this shoe as well, so it didn't feel like the cloud is like behind it. But I like it. I'm going to say again, Chris, this is your best. This is your best swing so far. Good exposure on the shoe. Good detail on the shoe. I can see you had a little bit of trouble in the laces and in your highlights in here. I'm hoping that in a little bit with some processing help with my man Garan, he can help you with some of these highlights. But most of your issue is right in here. You can see in here in your laces. But like really, 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 oh, wait, let me make sure. You know, you're shooting the right shoe, shooting the outside of the shoe. Yeah, like this is a yes for me, Chris Foster. That's an 11. That's your best swing so far. Since you've been with me, this is your best image. What a swing. So good. Now, it's a problem because now, Chris, you created a new bar. You created a new bar for yourself. So now this is your bar, and you're now, and I've shown you this before. This was you when you came down to, you were right here when you came, and we're going on these rungs up to you being the top 1%. Right? So if now you're here, like everything that is below this now has to be reshot. That, I mean, it's good and bad. You know what I mean? But it's like now the bottom of your rung is now this photo. So now these rungs don't exist anymore. So now this is the beginning of your ladder. You're here with this photo. So that means every one needs to be going up. That's what I'm trying to do here with Portfolio Lab. I'm very proud of you, my guy. Let's go. This is Chris Foster. Well done, Chris. Well done, Chris. So good. All right. This is Mr. Joshua Haney. Joshua says, more summer vibes from Vegas. R6, 24 to 72.8, 50 ISO, 3.5, 500th of a second, natural light. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua, this is a better capture of that same model. I like. The top down in this, it kind of works. It's like an interesting sensibility. Let's look at it as a cover. This is a stronger frame than the other. It is a stronger frame. In this instance, and I know this is something that might be controversial, but in this instance, you cut her head. In this instance, you cut her head. So this is what I mean. In this instance, Josh, you cut her head like this in order to bring her eyeline higher in the frame. So you can see here where her eyeline drops. Her eyeline is too much through the center of the frame, right? You can see her eyeline is almost through the center of the frame, and it's there because one person one time told you not to cut heads off, but you're doing a top down, and her eyes are more important. That you're not doing a hair shot, you're shooting her. So in this instance, you cut here, you cut her right there, And then the masthead goes right there. And then her eyes are the next thing that you see. So it kind of like, it makes, and then also it shows a little bit more of what she's wearing, because you're like, what she's wearing is also part of the factor. I want you to watch your aperture, because you're shooting at such a shallow aperture. You now, like, eyes being in focus, you can see this one is not quite that tight. We're trying to focus right here between the white and the color of the eye. In case you're not sure, that's where we're trying to focus. But you can see the eyes are not that sharp. And then as you go down her face, you can see like everything just kind of goes out of focus because you're shooting so shallow. So for me, this is too shallow. It's too shallow. Looking back at your F, you're shooting with a 24-70, a 2.8 at 3.5. So that's like almost as wide as that goes. Yeah, it's just, again, I like this one better than your other, but at the same time, it's like, hold on to strong ideas loosely. If this photo doesn't serve you, just because you like it, that's emotional attachment. When you have emotional attachment to photos that don't really serve you, you put them in your book, and then those photos, they lower the overall quality of your portfolio because you have emotional attachment to your work. Have no emotional attachment. Does it work? Yes or no? And then it's like, stuff that works, you show. The stuff that doesn't work, cool. You just archive it. It doesn't need to be public. This is one of those photos that, yes, Josh, this is better than the other, but it's not better than your work. It's not better than your work. And you have to understand, again, I can draw the same ladder for you, that same ladder, and understand if you have hits that are up here and up here, the ones down here, you can't, they're not hits because they're below your bar. So they can't go in your portfolio because it lowers. Showing these makes these now down there with them, because then your amazing photos look like accidents because they're mixed in with just your average photos or your good photos. But we remember, good is the new average because everybody makes good photos. We're trying to make the top 1%, which means not everyone is that. And you have to be okay with that, which is why we shoot more. Josh, this is close. It's better than the last one. I just still don't think that this top-down angle and this particular model with this particular idea works for your portfolio. I hope that helps. Yes, she has beautiful eyes. That picture's out of focus. The other one with the lines, and you know what I mean? Also, Josh, we did an amazing workshop on skin retouching, which would definitely help you. It's from last Thursday's Portfolio Lab, and it's in your Portfolio Lab archive. So watch that episode and learn. Like, it's not an episode, it's a Zoom. Watch that Zoom workshop so you can learn how to skin retouch better. And by the way, the stuff that we're doing on Zoom is so like mind-bending. Being in Pro Lab or being in Portfolio Lab, Pro Lab gives you access to all my Zooms, but that's an application process. You don't get to just walk into Pro Lab. Portfolio Lab, you can just walk into, and that gives you access to half of my Zooms. All right, that was Joshua Haney. We're in our last 4 photos. This is Ross Barberry. Shot at a local bar, shoot for a local bar, shooting multiple cocktails. A7R3, 85mm 1.8, ISO 400, 2.5, 1/25 of a second. Shooting with one small rig. Looks like a LED cob light. This is Ross Barberry. Ross, thanks for submitting. So for me, quality of light is the deal. It's quality of light that we're working on here. You need strobes. you need strobes, studio lights. LEDs are not going to give you the type of light quality that you need in order to articulate this type of stuff. Now, here's another thing, and it's a secret. When you look at drink photography, when you look at food and beverage photography, it is not shot shallow. It's not shot shallow. And this super narrow slice of focus that you're doing through here, where the whole glass is out of focus and the stem's out of focus and the whole rest of the shot is out of focus, Ross, is what we call style over substance. Style over substance. It's all style, no substance. So this is no bueno. So if you now look at, let's say, Behance, and you do a search that says cocktails, and then you look under creative fields and say photography, and see how cocktails are shot, find me that shallow depth of field. There's a little bit here, but to me, this guy is, yeah, he's not good. So this is just somebody who is hacking. And I can tell just by showing you this, he's hacking because he's not a specialist at anything. So I did find a cocktail, but that guy is not the right guy. So let me find a better example. Something that looks like it's a bar or for a bar. Here's a better example. Look at the depth of field of the glass and how you see the whole everything. I mean, bad retouching, sadly. Fuck, that's another bad example. I think we're going to go in this one because it's a Behance award-winning. So this is cocktails as a still life. I don't love the muslin background, but you can see the infinite depth of field where the glass is 100% in focus, but everything on the table is in focus. So the whole myth that shallow depth of field works for all photography is a myth. This is in fact infinite depth of field. If you look at some other product photographers like Garan Rath, infinite depth of field. Infinite depth of field because clients want to see the product sharp on all corners. So you'll notice, like, he shoots his stuff so sharp that he adds blur after. He adds motion blur at times. But for the most part, clients want to see their product in focus and super sharp. Let me show you Scott Cicchino. Scott Cicchino, product / people shooter. Look at the color and look at the sharp. There is no depth of field. So, like, look at this burger. There's no depth of, it's shot at like f22. That's not what we're trying to show. Again, look at this. It's shot. You can see from the bottom of the cup to the top of the cup. You can see all the beverage and it's all tack sharp. So the whole idea, like, look at this. You can read Cadbury. Like this, that is 21st century product photography. It's infinitely sharp. Infinitely sharp. He's got 3 burgers, 1, 2, 3, and they're all in focus. So this, and it starts with light, Ross. And also your camera is also, I believe, set for possibly, no, maybe not. Maybe not. But make sure that your camera is not set for 16:9 as well. For me, the depth of field what if the client wanted 2 drinks? What if they wanted you to have a tray of drinks here? So now there's 1, 2, 3. What if she wanted other things to be seen here? What if there's writing on this one thing that she wants to be noticed? You're going to be like, I can't do that? Well, not definitely with that light that you have, because it's not enough light. It's not going to give you enough exposure to get an f-stop that gets the top of the glass and the bottom of the glass both in focus. So, Ross, this is a good swing, but you can't be style over substance guy. I won't allow it. You're in my accelerator. So You need to figure out a way to be able to do shots like this that are at f11 and at f16, not at f2.5. And the only way that you can do that is with light. This is one of those shots that cool for Instagram, but not for someone who's paying you $100,000 to shoot their like cocktail coffee table book. You know what I mean? And if you look at cocktail coffee table books, because they do have those, it's like every single element of that drink is in perfect focus, because the people who are making them need to see every element of that drink, and it doesn't work if it kind of mysteriously goes out of focus. You know what I mean? So that's the style aspect, but it has to be style and substance, because if it's all style, I mean, you'll get Instagram clients, but you're not going to get anyone who pays you real money. I hope that helps you. That is Ross Barberi. Yeah. And again, I'm going to remind you, your focus point and what's in focus is this much in that photo. That much. And that's not enough. Okay? All right, Ross. We are down to our last few photographers. I think we have four photos left. All right. We're into we are into Mr. Frank Tom. Frank says, here's an image from a recent shoot. It's a quieter moment, but I think it has a place in my portfolio. R5, 28 to 70, ISO 100, f 3.2, 6/40th of a second shot natural light. This is Frank Tom. Frank. Yes, it does have a place in your portfolio. By the way, this is what a 2x3, which is your camera set to 2x3, shot full frame, like they're giving me the whole frame, giving me the exact proportions. This is what it looks like when I drop the overlay. Like it fits exactly. You can see Frank, you're composing on the thirds a little, because she's you needed to bias her just a little bit, because if we look at her shoulders here versus her shoulders here, and her head specifically, closer this way than that way, it can pass, but we do have to cut the frame in half and then cut that half again, which would have dropped her right there. So she is biased to the center just a bit. Make sure that you're not composing on the thirds. But other than that, Frank, this is like the repetition of like all the 18s and all the 17s and all the 16s and all the 19s and all the 20s and all the 21s. And if she was 20 and she's sitting in seat 20 and then all these are 20s, like, that's kind of cool. This is a strong idea. This is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. Good color. There's definitely a place for it in your book. Yeah, I see it. And if I look at what your book looks like, if I look at what your portfolio looks like, I feel like there's a need for that image in your portfolio. And it's going to fit with the rest of your work. You have this guy here seated. It's going to fit with the rest of your work. I just want more. I just want more. More. Yeah, this is a really very good swing, Frank Tom. Well done. Well done, Frank. All right, this is Mr. Nick Johnson, but not before this. Ready to take your photography business to the next level? I've created 3 powerful tools designed to make an immediate impact on your workflow, your client outreach, and your daily habits. These resources will help you work smarter, grow faster, and feel more confident in building your career. You'll find links to all 3 under tools at thecartymethod.com. If you're struggling to find clients, my Cold Outreach Master Pack has everything that you need to land new business. It includes 18 proven email templates and a step-by-step guide for writing emails that get opened and generate real responses. If you're ready to take your client hunting strategy up a notch, this pack gives you clear, effective blueprints to start getting results. Consistency builds success. My professional photographer habit tracker is your daily accountability tracker. It helps you build the habits that matter most to running a successful photography business. Track your progress, set meaningful goals, and stay focused on what moves the needle. If you're serious about making steady progress, this tracker is a game changer. Shoots can get chaotic. Stay organized. My Ultimate Photographer's Call Sheet is your one-stop solution for planning and managing every detail of your shoots. From client communication and location info to equipment checklists and timelines, this tool helps you stay on top of it all. With my call sheet, you'll run your shoots like a seasoned pro, no matter how big or small the project. This is the call sheet that clients will remember forever. These tools are built for photographers who are serious about their craft and ready to streamline their businesses, connect with clients, and build professional habits that last. You can find them all under tools at thecartymethod.com. Let's start transforming your business today. All right, we're down to the last few pictures. Next is Nick Johnson. Nick says one of his favorite parts of what he does is helping new models get started off right. This girl's never been in front of the camera before. Next week, she's moving to Paris to pursue modeling. Happy to say I knew her when. R5, 50mm 1.2, 5.6, 3/20th of a second, shot at ISO 200. This is Mr. Nick Johnson. Nick, this is a yes. Great feeling, great vibe. I like the sun flare. This has just got like a nice touch, Nick. It really works as a cover. And it fits with the rest of your book. It fits with the rest of your sensibility. I don't mind you cropping her hair. This one, you could definitely drop it down just a touch, but again, it doesn't hurt your image. I'm sure you shot lots as well. You have frames where she's not so pinched on the shoulders. Let me just look at this close up, Nick. Really good skin. Good skin retouching. Good. I mean, I see you right here, my guy, in the eyeballs. Nick, the sun flare, really nice touch with the retouching, good exposure. Yes, Nick, this is a yes for me. Well done. That's an 11, my guy. Yes, Nick. Yes. And you kept this from us. Like, you kept this from us seeing, and at least me seeing. So well done. I don't know how you managed to keep me from seeing this frame. Just showing you what this would look like as an 8x10. I would punch this about there as an 8x10. When you go to Instagram, you're gonna have to go above her chest line. But it still hits hard for me. Guys, that's Nick Johnson. Well done, Nick. Well done, Nicholas. We're down to our last two photos. This is Sean Thomas. Sean says this is an 82 Porsche 911 Carrera I'm considering for my book. I'm thinking end page. EOS R 65mm shot with the Tamron 24-70 2.8. ISO 100, 1/25th of a second at 7.1. Shot natural light. This is Sean Thomas. Sean, thanks for submitting. So, Sean, it's just your treatment and the noise. There's too much noise in this picture compared to the rest of your work. And the reason I say that is because I know your photographs. If you look at the digital noise in this photo, like, are you adding this? If you are, take it out, because it's kitsch at this point in 2025. We don't need to add digital noise. The other thing is that you don't do this on any of your other work. I definitely see this as an end page, but if I look at Autolux imagery and look at some other, you don't do that. You don't add texture to your photos. And it doesn't matter whether it's a new car or an old car, you don't add texture to your photos. That's not part of your brand. Because I have right here an old Porsche that you've shot, and it's in this kind of a scene, and you're not adding texture to it, because we don't need to take like a super expensive camera and then make it look like film. So for me, the color balance, meaning the way that this looks warm and this all is neutral, it doesn't fit in with how you shoot. Look at this image. Your image. Look at this image. Doesn't look like it's your image. So therefore, again, it's below the bar. And if you're trying something in treatment because you'd never, it's because, don't just throw shit at the wall because you want to try something. It's like you've established a style you've been working on for years. This is not within your rule book. So why are you doing that in post? I don't get it. It doesn't fit with the rest of your work, which again, this picture, and this picture, same photographer, yes or no? Obviously no. Clearly, this is at such another level. And this one also has noise. So it's not the same photographer. This is what we're trying to establish is rules. Rules. And you don't do this. You don't add noise, texture, or shoot at this jacked ISO that makes your quality go down. You don't do that. So because you don't do that, I'm asking why you're doing it here. So this is a no. And Sean doesn't need to denoise because you're not shooting at ISOs that create noise. So this is shot at ISO 100, which means you added noise. I don't understand. I don't understand why you're going to do something like you've done something 600 times, but today you're going to add something that you've never done. It's like Beyonce doing a country record. Yeah, Sean, that's a miss for me. Reprocess this, get rid of the noise, and like, again, I know you've been having a hard time, but that doesn't mean that you throw the baby out with the bathwater. ISO 100 does not look like that. ISO 100 does not look like that. This photography does not look like that. So anyways, I'm just pissed off now. This is our last photo. This is Joseph Baldwin. Shot on the EOS R 50mm 1.8, shutter 1/400th of a second, 5.6, ISO 160, shot natural light. This is Joseph Baldwin. Joseph, this has a vibe. This has a vibe. Definitely has a vibe. For me, horizon line, you could definitely push down. The horizon line just going through, like, thank God it's not higher, but it's going, like, you can push this down, like, around her waist. Do you know what I mean? Good vibe. Okay outfit. Good location. Great framing on the double page. Like, this discipline here proves that it can be done. It proves that it can be done. But you can see your horizon line, Joseph. If I draw the line, like if I draw that horizon line, yes, that is straight, but I feel like that should be like down here, and then just having her against sky just adds so much more impact for me. It's a good sensibility. Watch the exposure difference between her face and her belly. Her belly seems to me like it's getting more light, and then her hair here is blocking the light that's hitting her face a little bit. So just kicking a reflector in here just to like make sure that that exposure matches. Overall, this is a yes for me. Yes, it can go in your portfolio. I just want you to be watching when you're shooting up against very predominant horizon lines like this, that you're working on figuring out a way to push that horizon line down So it's less part of your picture. Again, look at this beautiful blank sky, and her just up against that sky for me hits, and it makes it feel less like a tourist picture and more editorial. I hope that helps. This is JB, Joseph Baldwin. Thanks, Joseph. Well done. All right, and our last photo. No, that was the last photo of the day. That was the last photo of the day. Joseph Baldwin was the last photo of the day. So, I'm going to give you photos of the week. 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 I do guys want you to think about joining, maybe consider joining this channel. I put out the hottest content on photography business and helping pro photographers become photographers. I don't know if there's anyone else who's doing what I'm doing on YouTube with the level of intensity that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm just trying to get you guys better. That is my goal. Photos of the week. I always have to be hard on photos of the week. But this is about progress and level ups for those photographers. This is a level up, and this is our first photo of the week, and it goes to Natalie Bennett. Natalie, that is a level up for you. Do not mistake level ups by being you're hitting the road already. I still see you playing with that slider, and don't think that I didn't talk to Nick. I still see that you're sliding that destroy slider. You're still using it. You need to not use it. You need to not use it. I still see that you're using it, but I'm giving you a photo of the week because this is 1,000 times better than you did last week. Well done. Natalie Bennett. Our next photo of the week is right here. This is Mike Graves. Mike, well done. Well done. Well done, well done, well done, mister. Well done. Well done. Photo of the week. Mike Graves. Photo of the week to Mr. Samuel Salling. Samuel, well done. That's a photo of the week, my guy. Very, very, very well done. Technically perfecto. Technically perfecto. Very well done, Samuel. Samuel Salling with a photo of the week. Photo of the week, photo of the week, photo of the week for Mr. Kyle Kiono. Kyle, well done. Do not drop the ball on processing. We're watching that processing of yours, but this is a good punch, and I'm glad you've gone back to your core. Well done, Kyle. Kyle Kiono with a photo of the week. We've got another photo of the week right here for Mr. Chris Foster. Chris with this on cloud. Very well done, Chris Foster. Very well done, Chris Foster. Ooh. Photo of the week for this one. This is an updated picture for Mr. Joshua Haney. Giving you a photo of the week on this, Joshua. Again, still want you to hold on to strong ideas loosely. I feel like you have an emotional attachment to this session. Don't emotionally attach to photos because that makes you push photos that aren't your best. And this is good, but I don't think that it'll stay in your book long because you're a great shooter. This is Joshua Haney. All right. Photo of the week for Frank Tom. Frank, remember the thirds. Remember the thirds. Remember the thirds. Still, killer idea and killer execution. Very well done, Frank. Very well done. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Photo of the week for Mr. Nick Johnson. Nick. That's a yes, my guy. First time on camera. Very, very, very good shoot. Nick Johnson. So, guys, those are And oh no, one last photo of the week for Mr. Joseph Baldwin. Joseph. Well done. So, do we have a best in show? Do we have a best in show? Yes, we do. We have two absolute best in shows, starting with Mr. Chris Foster. That is a best in show, mister. Congratulations, best in show. Very well done. You've come a long way, Chris. And my last and final best in show going to Mr. Frank Tom. Frank, best in show. Very, very, very well done. So good. So good. And do we? Yeah, we have to. I got a last best in show. Our last and final best in show goes to Mr. Nick Johnson. Nick, that's a best in show. Well done, my guy. Well done. All right, everybody who submitted, thank you. Everybody who didn't submit, start submitting. Let's go. Okay, so I got some updates. And again, my team should be listening too. My team, Nick, Garan, Calligraphy, Amond, Liza, Sean, all you all should be listening. Hope I didn't miss anybody. I was going to go away next week. But I decided, and again, I announced to my entire team that I'm leaving next week, decided that we're doing day trips next week. So I'm not leaving town and gone for the week. Just doing day trips. So I'll be back and I will be doing photo reviews next week. You guys don't know this, but I was going to not do photo reviews. I am taking a week off. I'm just not doing meetings or any other work, but my portfolio review shows I am doing. So this was going to be for 2 weeks from now, but now this is for next week. But speaking of that, I want to ask you about that as well. But I am doing photo review show, so that is for you, Nick, as well, Gran, and everyone. Like, I am going to do reviews next week. So we are back on schedule until my South African vacation in August. But we are back we're on schedule. I'm doing photo reviews. But the one thing I do want to ask the people who are submitting, for our pro level assignment that I give you on Thursday, that you only have a week to do, how would you feel if you had 2 weeks to do it? How would you feel if you had 2 weeks to do your Thursday assignment? So I'm still looking at assignments every Thursday, only I'm not looking at last week's I'm looking at an assignment I gave you 2 weeks ago. So instead of it being Wednesday, it's not Wednesday, but the Wednesday after that you're submitting. Gives you 2 weeks to submit. So the deadline is just extended. I'm getting feedback back that would help so much if I gave you 2 weeks to do the pro level assignment. I'm still giving you photo reviews every week, and I'm still looking at photos you're considering for your portfolio on Tuesday. But Thursday, I'm looking at something that I gave you 2 weeks ago. So if that's something that you're interested in, then we're going to rejig this. I am looking at photos next week and I am going to be around, but what I'm about to do is I'm giving you an assignment, but this particular assignment, I'm going to give you 2 weeks to do it. So next week is going to, although I'm going to be here and I'm going to review pictures on Tuesday, Thursday, like, I'm not going to be reviewing this assignment because I'm giving you 2 weeks for it. So that Thursday, I might just do a different type of a show. I might walk and shoot or do something else cool. But I'm going to be here. Okay. So for like basically you're going to have 2 weeks to do this assignment. Now I have to work this out with my team. So that means week 28, there isn't an official assignment because I need to extend it. And also I was going to take next week off, and we thought what a perfect time to give you 2 weeks for these photo assignments. So this still is week 29's assignment. So not next week, the week after, but on my birthday, July 17th, I am going to be streaming. I probably won't do photo reviews, but I'll do something else cool. My birthday's next Thursday, by the way. 17th. I was born on the 17th day of the 7th month in 1970. Yeah, that's my birthday. 1970. I'm 55 years old next month. But guess what? It's Tuesday. So I'm telling you I'm giving you a secret as to what this upcoming assignment's going to be, so you can start wrapping your head around, and you guys are going to be so happy. Kyle, let's go with the gifted. Kyle dropped a gifted membership. Let's go, Kyle. Smoke. Kyle gifted a membership. Let's go. Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate you, buddy. And It's Walker. You received a membership by Kyle. It's Walker. Kyle gifted you. Make sure you say thanks. And Courtney's birthday's on the 16th. Let's go, Courtney. Who knew? All right, Cancer buddies. You understand how many people who are the Cancer sign that watches me? Because Cancers are the creatives, you know. All right, guys, you want this week's assignment? It's not this week's assignment. It's assignment for 2 weeks from now. But it is the assignment I'm telling you this week, and I'm giving you a preview. Again, this is a preview for week 29, and we're in week 27. I'm so excited about this assignment. We are going to advertising. We are going into advertising, and you are creating a campaign lead image for Converse. Converse is your brand. Converse needs a lead image that embodies creativity, rebellion, and authentic self-expression. I want you to capture the daring spirit of youth and celebrate personal expression through movement and style. People photographers, I want you to create an authentic portrait showing creative confidence and rebellious spirit. Keep it natural, unposed, with the sneakers feeling like a natural part of their personal style. If you're a people shooter, create an authentic, if you shoot places, find environments that reflect Converse's cultural heritage, okay? Creative spaces, urban landscape, music venues, art studios, street culture hotspots, skate parks. And if you shoot things, style the Converse sneakers as tools of self-expression. Do a product shot of Converse. Show the shoes as a part of a creative lifestyle, not just a fashion accessory. This is a horizontal, double-page image, okay? This is why this matters. Converse represents creativity and authenticity. Creativity and authenticity over pure athletics. Okay? This assignment teaches you to photograph lifestyle and culture rather than just products. And this is essential for editorial lifestyle and brand photography. A Converse is not just a product. It's a lifestyle piece. So I want you to choose a Converse shoe. I don't want you to shoot a Converse t-shirt. Okay, just to be clear, that'll upset me. You gotta shoot a Converse shoe, and it's due like Wednesday, 2 weeks from now. So I'm excited to see what you do. Next week, Thursday, I'm gonna do a super special live stream on my birthday. And Tuesday, I'll be looking at photos. And then all the rest of the week, I'm going on Ontario adventures. I'm not doing any meetings or any heavy lifting. Next week, I do need a bit of a reset, but I do love being live. Also, so one more thing to show you guys, and if you're here, I'm working on I got a video coming out Thursday. I got a bunch of videos that I'm working on. You guys got to watch my videos. If you don't watch my videos, they tank. If my subscribers don't watch them, they tank. But this, I'm so sad to say that I had to buy something. I'm sad to say that I had to buy something that I already owned, which makes my heart hurt. But it's like this. I don't upgrade unless something dies, breaks, or, I'm selling and upgrading. But my light meter that I've had, this light meter that I have had for over 3 decades. I've had this light meter for over 30 years. I think I got this light meter in 94. Okay? My light meter just died. I took the battery out. It still meters flash, but it doesn't meter ambient anymore. I think that it's just fried. And again, it hasn't been dropped. There's no liquid. And I mean, again, I could even take this in and take it to a camera store and get it repaired. But this meter, 31, 32 years, it finally just jumped the shark. And I haven't bought a light meter in so long, but I bought one. And this is my new meter. It is the Sekonic Light Master Pro. This thing is trouble. This thing is so dirty. A retractable dome. Look at how tiny it is. Like the size. It's so small. And also touch screen. Touchy. Touchy. Looky. Touch screen. Touch. So it's like you can now change your blah 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 with the touch, and the modes. Mine just had like flash or cord or non-cord. This has got more modes than I've ever seen, and yeah, it's pretty dope. It's like, obviously, you set your ISO there. You set your ISO. You set your time value, which is your shutter speed, and then you take a light meter reading, and it's gonna say under. Oh, look, it's half a second. 5, or it's gonna say F. There is no f.5. So if I now go here and increase the ISO and just tap up on the ISO, up, I keep tapping up on the ISO. Now it's giving me 1.4 at ISO 800. Keep tapping up. Now it's giving me 1.4 and 6/10 at ISO 1000. So light meter, I'm going to do a whole thing on how to use a light meter, all the different settings, blah, blah, blah. I think that people get light meters and they don't know how to use them. So not only is owning a light meter important, knowing how to use one is important. I'm going to do also, in this video, I'm talking about metering. I am talking about the metering in camera, spot metering, center weighted, evaluative. I'm going to talk about the in camera meter settings and when to use what, and then when to use a light meter and how the camera lies. Same scene, light meter reading, camera reading, what the shot looks like. So you can see how your camera is continually lied to. I just entered the 21st century, says Courtney, but honestly, I entered the 21st century when I understood exposure, which was back when I was 19 in photography school with the meter that I had back then. This is my 3rd light meter. in a 40 years of shooting. This is my third meter. Definitely the most expensive I've ever bought one. Hey, Fiudad, welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Definitely the most expensive meter I've ever bought, but it's the cost of doing business. Guys, I hope today brought you value. I will be back Thursday to look at your self-portraits. There's a lot of new people who's starting to watch me, and I appreciate that. Know that I have tons and tons and tons of great content out there. Watch something on my channel. And again, if you don't know about me, look at me at stevecarty.com. Guys, I hope you found this valuable. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on Thursday.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, if you became a subscriber like Fuidad and Emmanuel and Thomas and Brooke recently, like within the last 25, I put your names down here in my credits. Like literally my credits are my last most recent subscribers. And if you became a member, yo, like you're my OGs, like my true hardcores, the ones that believe in what I'm doing. I'm trying to find 1,000 true fans of this channel, people who are really appreciating what I'm doing. If I can get 1,000 people to become a member on my channel, I will turn commercials off completely. There'll be no ads on any of my content, but I need 1,000 members in order to do that. Help me get there by becoming a member today.